good crowd. A little smaller than what we've had, but still middle of the day, downtown Oklahoma City. Probably really a good crowd, good response.
You seem to have both sides of the issue. Do you think people are leaving here with a little bit more answers than they can?
Well, I hope so. We certainly have some problems in healthcare we need to address, and we should use this opportunity to really fix them. But I'm adamant, the more the federal government's involved, the less effective we're going to be in healthcare, not the more effective, and the more money we're going to spend. And that's the wrong answer right now when we're going to spend $9 trillion over the next 5 or 6 years that we don't have.
You talked about no civil discourse in this matter. What do you think the underlying issue for that is, the reason for why there's lack of civil discourse?
Well, I think a little bit of talk radio and talk TV has done some of that. If you get on to watch the TV shows, it doesn't matter which one, whether they're right or left, they don't give a good opportunity for people to have civil discourse. But the real lack of civil discourse is among the politicians. If you demonize somebody, there's been a lot of stuff out because I think that we have earned the disrespect of a lot of constituencies by our actions. And yet that's been totally demonized. That's a legitimate position. Why else would people be upset if they don't have respect for what we're doing? So the fact is we need to get back to where we can have thoughts and philosophies and issues debated and not demonize the individual that happens to take a position that's opposite what you take.
One point you touched on that I thought was interesting. You said Canada, you acknowledge, does do a better job on the front end of health care.
Yeah, I think they do.
If that's the case, does that mean fewer people getting sick?
Well, their studies wouldn't show that, but they are. First of all, they're a smaller population, and overall they're a younger population than we are. And I don't know the actual statistics on what their outcomes are, but access in terms of just primary care is probably better. But that doesn't mean that's the only way to solve that problem with a government-run program. Plus, they're having trouble choking down the cost of it as well, which a lot of people never mention when they talk about England and they talk about Canada. They don't talk about the tremendous cost that is to them.
What about if we do have some kind of national health care plan or public option, what about on the supply in terms of physicians and healthcare professionals?
Well, you're going to get a supply if you're going to pay them. The reason you have a shortage of primary care today is Medicare has said that we don't want to pay them. There's a 350% payment differential from primary care to a subspecialist. You're going to get people to go where you pay them. And so what you have to have is payment reform. That's an easy one to solve.
A lot of Republicans are pushing for tort reform on the federal level to take care of health care.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oklahoma's passed its own tort reform.
No, well, actually, they haven't passed any significant tort reform yet. You haven't passed any significant tort reform that's going to have major effect on the costs. The governor has not signed major. He has signed around the edges something that looks like tort reform that doesn't have any true economic benefit. And you're going to have a different governor before you're going to really have tort reform in this state.
Would you say the tort reform that's been passed in Texas has had...
It's had a 36% decline in the first 3 years in terms of the cost of malpractice insurance, the cost of defensive medicine. They're doing an ongoing study now, but they know it's going down. If that's 8% of the cost of health care, it seems smart that in Oklahoma we might want to lower the cost of health care by at least 4% if we had cogent malpractice reform.